The easiest, most consistent, and highest paying trades that you will ever take in your career will happen when the market is in a trending environment. Most traders understand the benefits of trading in the predominant trend direction, but every single one of them is thinking something else. They're all worried about getting caught in that major trend reversal that eventually happens. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you exactly how to spot major market reversals so that you don't get caught in them and that ultimately you could use them to your advantage. This is level 2 understanding of time frame analysis, round trips, and market stability. Have you ever seen a market that you trade go into an extremely heavy trend, where it seems to go one direction for multiple days, multiple weeks, or maybe even multiple months, or in some cases years? Do you know why those trends continue to be stabilized and sustain on and on and on? It's because of one key reason. What ultimately controls trend stability is what we call speed of money flow. What is that? Well, the speed of money flow is how fast transactions are happening between buyers and sellers. We also call this the speed of the round trip trade. What's a round trip trade? A round trip trade is a complete trade idea execution from opening the trade to closing the trade. That's what we call a round trip. When you see something on a chart or you know something fundamentally and you open a trade, that's the beginning of your round trip process. When the trade does whatever it's going to do and then you decide to close that trade, that is the end of your round trip process. All players at all levels in the market have their own round trip process from when they open a trade to when they close it. And that is what affects market stability. Let me dive deeper into that. The bottom of this graph, or the x-axis, represents round trip speed. If you look off to the left, you'll notice there's a tick chart, and then you'll see the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, so on and so forth, all the way up to the monthly chart. If you look to the left, it says fast round trip. On the right, it says slow round trip. So what does that mean? Well, if a person, or probably a machine, is trading on the tick chart, that means they're looking for patterns or some sort of edge on that time frame. That means their round trip speed is typically going to be fast. They're going to get in, they're going to get a tiny piece of the market movement, and then they're going to get out. Their round trip is going to be very fast. Whereas if someone is trading on the monthly chart, they're going to be looking at monthly patterns and probably bigger macroeconomic things that are happening in the world to decide whether they're getting in or getting out. It's going to happen much, much slower. So how does this concept affect the stability or the continuation of trends? Well, checking out our y-axis, you could see that this represents trend stability. So let's see how this plays out across these time frames. Starting with our tick chart, going into our 5-minute, you can see that we have a buy, a circle in the middle, and a sell. The circle represents the round trip speed. As we continually go up the time frames, you can see that the speed of the round trip continues to get slower and slower. Again, why is that? It's because the patterns or the fundamentals or the indicators, it doesn't really matter, but what those time frame classified traders are looking at is affecting what triggers them to get into a trade and ultimately what triggers them to get out of a trade for profit or for loss. It's simply because of the time frame horizon they have chosen to trade on. So how does that play into the big picture of trend stability? The key to understanding trend stability is also understanding that during a round trip trade process, money or liquidity is locked. It's not moving. And what ultimately controls how far a trend goes or how long it continues is volume of transactions coming into the market in that direction. Simply put, a confirmed trend on any given time frame will not reverse until the participants or the traders using that time frame for their analysis complete their round trip trade. Let's take a look at another example. In this example, we could see that we have a 4-hour bar chart that's overall trending down. We could see that we have these little miniature bull rallies marked by the green arrows. Let me ask you a question. Why did not one of these bull rallies continue to reverse the market and change the overall trend? Simply put, it's because the higher time frames like the weekly and the monthly have not completed their round trip process. Those 4-hour rallies on this chart push up because of buy transactions coming into the market. They fail because there's not enough buy transactions to continually turn the trend. Why is there not enough buying transactional volume? because the additional buying volume that's needed to ultimately turn the trend is locked inside the higher timeframes round trip process. When they complete their process of selling this market, pushing it down, they will then buy the market, closing out their round trip process, and then the next 4-hour rally will be combined together with the buy transactional volume of the higher time frames, and that will be what will finally cause this market to reverse in a big way. Now let's dive deep on how the round trip trade process works when it comes to retail traders versus smart money like market makers. On the left, we have a simplified view of the round trip cycle. That's going to show us our stages of how the round trip cycle works for a retail trader. On the right, we're going to see what that translates to in actual chart price action. Starting with a new belief pattern is triggered. Every trader that enters a legitimate trade that they actually want to be in gets into that trade because a new belief pattern has been born in them. They have seen some technical pattern on the chart, or they have heard some fundamental news, or it might be something as trivial as their dentist has given them a hot stock tip. Doesn't really matter. They have a new belief born in them that they are going to win. Therefore, they press the button. In this situation, we could see that we have a clear support level forming, and traders are looking at that. They're thinking the market looks like it's bouncing long. I think I'm going to buy. So now that the market has come to a bias and they're looking to buy the market, they just need a little trigger to actually get them to push the button. In this case, the market starts running off without them, and in true retail trader style, they chase it and jump in and buy that market. All the traders that have now taken action on this time frame according to this particular setup have started their round trip process and locked down their liquidity. That liquidity cannot be used by anyone else, including the market makers. When will that liquidity become available? It will become available when they complete their round trip process and close out this trade. Let's see what happens. The market takes off, really picks up steam. These traders are feeling pretty good. They're saying this one is going to the moon. You know what the problem with that is though? Is that they don't watch these lessons like you're watching, and they don't understand what happens to traders when they get in a pleasure state. These traders are going to become very lackadaisical. They're not going to take those profits off the table because they think that this rally is never going to end. But we know that markets range most of the time. And true to its form, this market goes right against them really fast, puts them in a pain state, which causes them to close that trade at a little bit of a loss right here. And that is what completes their round trip trade and unlocks their liquidity. So now let's look at this exact same price example, but from the market maker's perspective. Why do they want to get in a trade and initiate their round trip process? Well, number one is going to be spread. They want to do a lot of transactional volume and collect a lot of spread as one of their revenue streams. Number two, though, is going to be when they initiate their own proprietary trading. So let's look at this example from the perspective of the market maker performing proprietary trading from their own account. Same as a retail trader, a market maker also has a new belief pattern triggered, causing them to either want to buy or sell the market. In this case, it's buy the market. But what are they looking at? Well, they're looking at these same lows, but instead of support, they're looking at those levels as potential points to harvest sell stop loss orders. So what does that mean? Well, they're thinking the buy liquidity from these stop losses is drying up, time to cut supply, now we go up. So the market maker is buying up those stop losses and then cutting supply to the market. When you cut supply to the market, it naturally goes up. How can they do that? Because they control the gates of supply. Now, the reason they call them smart money is because they're not simply just getting into the market and hoping they make a profit. They're planning for it in advance. They're looking at this high that's on the top of our chart. They're thinking, I could dump my buy positions above this high. There are plenty of stop losses up there to harvest. They are planning for the liquidity that they need to ensure that they make a profit beforehand. So what happens now? Well, very predictably, because market makers have cut supply in the market, the price goes up right where they want it to go. But now they're faced with another problem that they didn't calculate. Retail traders have started to short the market. What are they going to do? There's now not enough liquidity to fully exit their position as they planned. Can they fix it? Yes, they can. They simply manipulate the market up one more time, bid the price up. This not only stops out traders that were previously selling from this high, but it draws new traders to start buying the market in fear of missing out. All this buying volume is exactly what they need to sell to and exit their position. In fact, it's so much buying volume that they now are able to fill up short inventory for their proprietary trading book of business. How are they going to make money from that? It's very simple now. All the traders that have now bought this market, reversed their positions and think it's going up, have shown the market maker where their pain threshold is and where they're going to get out. There are stop losses layered all the way down this move up. So all the market maker needs to do now is dump a little bit of supply into the market and let the stops do the rest, and the market tanks. But you could see now how the market maker has completed their full round trip process, from the accumulation of buy orders to the distribution of those in the form of sell orders, and also accumulating more for their next opportunity. All right, now it's time to test your knowledge on this concept. Looking at the same example we were looking at earlier on the 4-hour bar chart, but this time we're pairing it with the weekly higher time frame chart. Remember, the higher time frames have the slower speed of money flow, which controls trend stability. My question to you is, when did this 4-hour move really start according to the weekly chart? Was it right here when the weekly trend change became confirmed by a down inefficiency? The answer to that question is no. It did not start here. This is where it became confirmed, but the actual turn started back here. Why is that? That's because when the weekly went up through that previous high, all the weekly traders saw that we came up through that level of resistance and the market wasn't holding. They all saw it reverse. And what happens at that point? They complete their previous buy trade. They complete their round trip process. Their selling volume unlocked out of the market, combined with the down force of the lower time frames, is what ultimately reversed the market. So that's where the real trend direction change happened. Let's break this down one more time so you could fully understand this concept. The completed round trip process on higher time frames is what causes real trend reversals. When the higher time frame players complete their round trip process, their closing volume combined with the shorter term traders volume is what causes the bigger price reversal. Now, it's important to remember that all pullbacks in the market will be temporary until the higher time frame players complete their round trip process. So what does this mean for you? Well, your ability to forecast the market accurately is highly dependent on understanding the higher time frame mindset and technicals. You want to understand where you are in the midst of their round trip process, because you need their stability. You need their locked up liquidity to stabilize the trend that you're trading within. If you spend time studying the higher time frame round trip process, you will gain much more insight and confidence into your shorter term opportunities. So here's your 3-step playbook for understanding when your higher time frame is nearing its round trip completion and leading to a big market reversal. Step number 1, you want to watch for your higher time frames to react around predominant highs and lows. As you can see in the example chart to the right, the weekly chart has been driven up through a major resistance area. We would be very concerned to see what kind of reaction happens on that weekly chart. If the weekly holders sell their positions, then that's going to cause a major market reversal on all the time frames that are below the weekly chart. It's going to have a domino effect. Step number 2, you want to look for the resulting inefficiency showing that the market reversal is really picking up steam. And step number 3, you're going to want to trade that trend reversal at some point. So you need to keep in mind that as the new trend forms, the stability of the new trend will be determined by how the market interacts with further inefficiencies in that new established trend. So remember this, if you want to trade on a daily basis, you're going to want to look for the confirmed trend direction on the daily chart. You're going to want to look at where is that daily chart in accordance to its round trip. Has it come through any major support or resistance levels? Things like that could end the round trip trade. If you've determined that the daily holders have not completed their round trip trade, well then guess what? That daily trend is still intact. What does that mean for the lower time frames? It means that all rallies, in this case, any movement above value is not going to take off. It's going to be temporary, which means great entry opportunities for you. But why is it going to be temporary? It's going to be temporary because it needs the buy volume from the daily holders closing their trades. Until they close those trades, every single one of these overvalued opportunities is a great entry point for you. So what's the grand takeaway from this lesson? A trend will not end on any given time frame until the even higher time frames complete their round trip trade in mass. If you're tired of getting caught in trend reversals, the clarity and confidence that you seek is in understanding the higher time frames mindset, positioning, and round trip transactional speed. When you put all of this into practice, you will become the confident trend trader that you want to be.